I absolutely love this drone. I've said it so many times on this vlog before, but absolutely the best piece of technology I've bought in years is this little drone, the DJI Spark. But last night I almost lost it by doing something incredibly stupid and something that I would warn everybody never ever ever to do with the DJI Spark or any drone with similar technology. I have flown this thing all around the world in many different difficult flying locations and I've never been close to losing it, but last night I came within seconds of losing it. Let me take you guys inside and tell you the whole story. So, last night there were some amazing conditions here in Edinburgh. Conditions that I've been wanting to capture on video for a very long time. We had this very low-lying bank of fog over the city, and I've always been waiting for that, thinking as soon as we get that again, because it doesn't happen that often here, I'm going to take the drone out and get some shots of the fog sitting over Edinburgh. So I went up to Arthur's Seat, the hill in the middle of the city, took the drone to see what we could get, and it didn't really play out as I'd wanted to. Let me tell you about that in a little second. First of all, welcome to the channel. My name is Sean. I'm a YouTuber from Edinburgh in Scotland. I make vlogs all about Scottish culture, travel, technology, reviews, story times, that kind of stuff. So if you are new here, thank you very much for joining in. Hit the red subscribe button down below to keep in touch with all of my videos from now on, and hit the notification bell. I would appreciate that. So, getting the fog photos I thought would be a really nice simple thing to do. Got to Arthur's Seat, got to the top of the hill, and took the drone up to see how thick the fog was. And guys, it was pretty thick. The whole city was covered. It was all over us. There was no holes. And I just took this straight up from my position. And the fog bank, which was really tugged tight to the ground where I was standing, was only 50 meters in the air. After 50 meters, this thing cleared the fog up into clear blue sky, and it was absolutely amazing, gorgeous footage. I couldn't believe it. It was exactly what I was hoping for. It was like being on a plane. You know when you're flying on a plane and on the window seat and you look out and all you see is clouds? That's what it looked like, but it was from my drone. 100 meters in the air, and you could just see like vast banks of clouds. I held it in position for a while to do a bit of a time lapse of the fog moving over the city really at high speed. All was well, but I deliberately did not take the drone away from me in any shape or form. It was constantly zeroed directly above my head. I didn't take it forward or side to side or back or whatever. It was directly above me, so if anything happened, I could just bring it straight down. Or so I thought. I also gave myself plenty of battery time, so after about 8 minutes flying, I thought I'm going to bring it down. 5 minutes of battery remaining. That's plenty of time to bring any drone down from the height I was at. Brought it down. It was all normal, descending, descending, descending. Hit the fog bank and stopped dead. The thing is about this drone, right? It has got so much amazing technology packed into this tiny little drone the size of a mouse. It's got this big sensor thing right in the front here to stop any obstacles you might fly into. And it's also got sensors underneath as well. These are called vision sensors. And it's basically cameras that point downwards. And when you're taking off and landing with this thing, it uses vision sensors on the ground for the first 20 feet off the ground to get its location, to get its position. And also when you're coming into land, it judges its height off the ground, not from where you took off, but from the bottom sensors. And this is good because where you land the drone, it might not necessarily be exactly the same height from where you took off. And you don't want to come down with this thing with a thud because it will damage the gimbal. You want it to come and land very, very slowly and gently, so it sits in the palm of your hand, for example, without hurting yourself or without damaging the drone when it comes to land on the ground, on hard concrete or whatever. So it's a really good, useful feature. However, it also senses fog, apparently. Came down, hit the fog bank and stopped dead. It would not come down. Fog bank, as I said, was 50 meters in the air from where I was, and it would not budge. So what happens is when you come to land this drone, right, it comes down, and as it senses it is 1 foot from the ground, it stops. And then it will do a really, really slow descent for that last foot until it's on the ground. So it thought it was on the ground level. It was 1 foot from the fog bank, and then it just came down really slowly for a foot. Realised actually, oh, not on the ground yet. Keep going more slowly. And I had 5 minutes of battery left, and I just watched and panicked as this thing descended extremely slowly downwards, 50 meters, and the battery life drained. The battery life on this thing, guys, one downside, it's not amazing. It lasts for about 14 minutes. And I had 5, as I said, to go on this descent, and it took the whole 5 minutes to get anywhere down. I was in panic mode, guys. I thought there must be a way to turn off the sensor. I flipped it into sport mode, it didn't work. It still had the downward sensor on. Sports mode only disengages the front sensor. Apparently it does not disengage the bottom sensor. Probably a good feature, did not help me in the fog. I could see the drone about 10 meters in the air, still coming down extremely slowly. That was as much vision as I had in that fog, 10 meters maximum. I could hear it well before I could see it. But when I got to 10 meters, that is when the battery level, which I had been watching go down and down and down, got to 0. I have never had this drone anywhere close to 0 battery life. I always land it within about 2 minutes to spare, but it was on 0, telling me this is it, the drone's going to cut out. I don't know, you can see in the video actually, my sister, she is not religious whatsoever, but she was literally in prayer mode. She had her hands clasped, hoping this thing was going to come down safely. I have been looking for ways if the downward sensors could be turned off on this, and there's lots of conflicting reports. I'm not really sure. I can see why you wouldn't want them turned off. Luckily, this story has a happy ending, but I'm never ever flying this thing in fog again. Not worth it. I could have easily have lost the battery and the thing would have dropped out the sky from 10 meters. It would have smashed on a rock. It would have been game over. But that was it. A bit of a technology story time vlog for you today. I'm actually going to start this up as a brand new series because I get a lot of messages all the time from people saying, what camera equipment do I use? What camera equipment do I recommend for vlogging? Which drones should they buy? I get these messages all the time. So I'm thinking I should use my channel as a space also to talk about something that I love and I'm passionate about, which is technology, photography, video, drones and all that kind of stuff, technology, doing some reviews, doing some how-tos. This is the first episode in that series. As it happens, I did get some awesome video, which I was quite pleased of, but I'm not sure if it was worth it because I could quite have easily have lost this. I would love to know your thoughts about that, this series. I get a lot of messages on this subject, so it'd be good to know your thoughts down below in the comments. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great night, evening, morning, afternoon, or whatever time of day it is wherever you are in the world. Take care.